In today's video, we're going to be discussing how to start your downswing, and we're going to be talking about starting with the lower body first while delaying the upper body. Make sure you check out this video. Jon Watts here from the TruGolf Academy. You've joined me in the indoor studio, and today's video is all about starting the downswing. And we're going to be talking about creating more torque, creating more resistance effectively in the downswing for an increase of speed. But this is also going to help us shallow the downswing correctly. So I see a lot of people falsely shallowing the golf club, which is allowing the hands and the arms to drop behind them, but they're losing a lot of posture to achieve that. Their shoulders are staying very high. What we're going to be discussing here is how we can start with our lower body, but feel like we keep our upper body back. That's going to help me maintain my posture as I shallow the club, and that's really going to help me create some extra resistance, some speed in there, because I'm actually getting my my lower body unwinding towards the target, my upper body staying back, and it is only a fraction of a second, but a big power source, and we can start to utilize it. If you're new to my channel and you haven't already, please do consider subscribing. If you hit the little bell icon, it just notifies you every time a new video goes live, and the info for my social media just coming along the bottom of the screen also. I'm going to demonstrate today's video with a mid-iron, with a 6-iron, but it's relevant with different golf clubs. It wouldn't really matter whether we were talking about this with a driver or with an iron. Still relevant, still the same as applicable. And I'm going to show you quite a funky, weird exercise that I want you guys to do. You might want to do it in the comfort of your own house, because the guys on the range are going to look a little strangely at you, talking about disassociation. But I'm just going to quickly get to the top of my backswing and demonstrate what I'm talking about here. So at the top of the backswing, I'd like my shoulders to turn around 90, my hips perhaps half of that, 40, maybe 45. And what I want to start down with is feeling like my backside stays back, my hips start to unwind, so they're going back to about center, okay? But I want to feel like my upper body stays back, so there's more torque being created. So I want to feel like my arms stay up as I start down with my lower body. Now, of course, my arms are dropping, but they're dropping, they're not being pulled down. So what I see a fault with a lot of golfers is them pulling the handle down towards the ball. You can see what that's doing to my spine angle. I'm standing up and out of posture. So we may get the club in a shallow into out position, but from there I've lost posture. I tend to get that club face very open, and then we use a lot of hands and arms into impact. So what we really want to see is a maintaining posture. The backside is staying back and starting to rotate. Now, I've filmed videos before talking about trying to get the belt buckle almost pointing down and slightly in front of the golf ball. And it's very relevant to what we're discussing today. And I will put some links just up in this video that I think are relevant if this is an interesting topic for you, or an area game you think you need to change and improve. So lower body is starting to sit back, my backside, and unwind, but I'm keeping my upper body back, and that's allowing me to maintain my posture and shallow the golf club correctly. Now you can see I'm in a very different delivery position. That club face is more matching my spine angle. I'm still tilted over, my backside is still back. From there, I'm in a much better delivery position than if I shallow the golf club, of course, this way by standing up and out of posture. I mentioned that funky exercise, and it is a bit of a weird one. But if you just use a couple of tour sticks, a couple of canes, I'm prepared to look silly on video, and you go one through belt loops and one across shoulders, or a club across shoulders. And this is just a rough gauge. What I'm asking you to do is, can you turn your shoulders without your hips? So I'll turn around for this angle. Can I rotate my shoulders? I'll only be able to get 20 degrees maybe forwards and backwards without having to turn my hips. So can I create shoulder turn while limiting hip turn? Okay? The harder one, and I know that's moving just a little bit, it's only a little bit, is can I turn my hips right and left, open and closed, without turning my shoulders? So can I rotate to the right, rotate to the left, and actually keep my shoulders pretty fixed? So my hips are turning. Obviously, as my right hip turns behind me, my right leg, my trail leg will start to straighten, and vice versa on the way through. But can I fix, let's get that right, my shoulders and create some hip turn? Because that's effectively what I'm asking you to do at the top of the backswing, is can we just start our downswing with our lower body first and keep our upper body back? So upper body here and starting down with that lower body first. Obviously there is some upper body, but my hips, this red line or orange line, is moving more than the line across my shoulders. So it's a great exercise just to do in front of a mirror, patio window like I've got behind me here, just to see what's happening. As I said, it is a bit of a wacky exercise, but great feel for you. How could we take it to the course more simplistic? You could focus on starting down with your lower body first. I get more or better results from more golfers actually asking them to feel like they delay their upper body. So rather than asking them to start with their lower body first, which you can definitely ingrain and do some feel exercises, I want them to feel like they leave their arms up. Okay, so I almost want them to the top of the backswing to feel like they leave their arms up as they start down. Now the arms are dropping, but they're dropping because of what my lower body's doing. Very different to me pulling the handle down. So at the top of the swing to achieve that, I need a relatively light grip pressure, and I need to feel like almost there's a little pause and my arms are staying up as I start my downswing. So I'm trying to leave my arms up as I start my downswing. And that's creating more torque, as I said there at the start, because my hips are starting to turn back to the target, the upper body is being delayed. Let me hit one just feeling that sensation, so leaving my arms up. Okay. Almost trying to exaggerate that move, so I took a little bit of pace out of it. You know, it's a 6-iron that's only gone 160, and it felt a bit toey. But I was just trying to get that exaggerated sensation in a practice feel, practice move of trying to start with my lower body, keep my upper body back. How I take it as a real one to the course, I think, it's just that feeling of delaying my upper body, keeping my arms up, not allowing them to be pulled down. So that felt a lot more doable on the golf course. I was just feeling, and you can see back up to normal yardage there for a 6-iron, so landed about 180, finished about 190. Felt like I left my arms up, almost delaying my upper body downswing movement. Different golfers will like different sensations. I've had golfers have success with the feeling of keeping their back to the target. I've had sensation with golfers feeling like they allow their arms to drop, but dropping is great, not pulling down. I don't want this narrow movement, arms buckled inwards this way, and I definitely don't want us to lose posture as we're trying to shallow our downswing. So I want that sensation of leaving my arms up as my lower body starts to unwind, and just doing some disassociation exercises with the cane across hips, cane across shoulders would be great. You could definitely use a chair or a stool against your backside and just feel like you start to turn the stool, okay, as you start your downswing. So my trail hip will have turned into it. As I start my downswing, can I actually recenter that stool but feel like I keep my arms up at the top of the backswing, start the downswing in this movement here. So it's just that sensation of swivel the stool back because my backside's staying back on the line and my arms are being dropped, not pulling. Now, I don't really want to hit another one, but I'm going to risk it. Purely because I actually hit that one pretty good. So the sensation, the drills, exaggerate that movement, but then just try and get a little bit more natural, just feeling like you leave your arms up. May have just pushed it a little bit right to target. I did tell you I shouldn't have hit another one. Just missing the right edge there and cost me a couple of yards, but I taught myself out that one, didn't I? I really should have stopped when I hit a good one. The downswing, starting with the lower body first, is a key part, something we see with elite golfers. It is only a fraction of a second, but often we have to exaggerate that feel in terms of practice swings and separate obviously your practice to your swing. I'm not suggesting you go real technical on the golf course, but it may just be the feeling of a little pause, almost leaving the arms up in the transition, especially if you're someone who feels like they rushes the transition, gets very dominant with their upper body, or loses a lot of posture in the downswing. This is obviously really, really relevant for you. If this video has helped, as I mentioned there in the start, hit the thumbs up, share it with as many golfers as you can, and please do consider subscribing if you haven't already.